Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Is this on? Yes. Okay. I'm Rabbi Leah Berkowitz. This is our cantorial soloist, Rebecca Schwartz. We have Gerline in the sound booth, and we are really delighted to have everybody with us to celebrate a plain old regular Shabbat. I'm looking at Abby, who has been part of the membership committee coordinating all of these really wonderful special events. And this is, I think, the only week we don't have one. So I was curious who was going to come, and I'm really grateful that we have a minyan here, and I'm hoping we have a minyan online as well. And it's always really nice for us to be together. And we are celebrating the end of Passover in whatever ways that we celebrate that. So there will be challah and cookies and things afterwards. And I hope everybody enjoyed whatever it is that they used to break Passover. And actually, let's share that. So we're going to wish each other Shabbat Shalom and tell your neighbor what you ate when Passover was over to break Passover. Oh, yes. Cinnamon raisin bagel. Ah. Yeah. It was fun going to the grocery store and just buying all the carbs today. Yeah. Yes, so wonderful. So we have nourished ourselves with wonderful carbs, and now we're here to nourish ourselves with Shabbat. I'm going to share a prayer that's on page 112. Source of all being, may the people of this community learn these passions from us. Love of Torah, devotion in prayer, and support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy. Baruch atah Adonai she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Blessed are you, Adonai, who alone we serve in reverence. We turn to page 121, and we invite Abby Binder to the bima to light our Shabbat lights. So you can pick one of these.
Help me perfect my ways of loving and caring. Inspire me to make myself whole so that I may honor your name and create a world of justice and peace.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlikeh shel Shabbat.
Thank you. Were there any songs you wanted to do before?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's turn to top of page 129. Zot
continuing on our theme of beloveds, we turn to page 138 to welcome Shabbat as we welcome a bride. Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabela, lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabela, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom u'mevorach. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom u'mevorach. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabela, lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabela, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom u'mevorach. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom u'mevorach. Page 146, we rise in body and in spirit for the Baruch Hu. Page 149. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Page 151. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai may be seated.
ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושילנתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובמלאכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, amen.
We continue on the very bottom of page 155. I'm getting a little bit of reverb. I don't know what to... Okay, all right. Abaye said, "Spread the love of God through your actions. If you yourself study and help others to do so, if your business activities are decent and trustworthy, what will people say? Have you seen the behavior of one who studies Torah? How beautiful! What a fine person!" Thus Isaiah taught, "You are my servant Israel, and I will be glorified through you." Page 158, we join together for Mi Chamocha.
Adonai, mi kamocha neta bakodesh, nora
Tehilot,
ozer,
Melech,
nora
Tehilot,
ozer,
Melech,
Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, malchutecha ubanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze Elianu ve'amru, ze Elianu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neta bakodesh, mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neta bakodesh. Nora
Tehilot,
ozer, nora
Tehilot,
ozer,
Melech,
Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar ki yifad Adonai et Yaakov, u'ge'alam yad chesed mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
What?
I'm gonna sing this.
Okay.
So I did the intro part, so that everybody knows it. Let's try it together.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'harizenu shomreinu l'chayim Ufros aleinu Sukkot shomecha v'tavneinu be'etza tova milfanecha v'hoshienu למען שמך ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. Continue on page 164. We rise in body and in spirit for the tefillah. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני העפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך
chayeh u'matzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman ata l'chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kedoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
You may be seated. Page 172. You set aside the seventh day for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, more sacred than all festival times. So it is written in your Torah, the heaven and the earth were finished and all their array. On the seventh day God had completed the work that had been done, ceasing then on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, and ceased from all the creative work that God had chosen to do. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 175. You are with us in our prayer, in our love and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance, and let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Tzur Chayenu Magei Yishaynu Atahu V'dor V'dor Tzur Chayenu Magei Yishaynu Atahu V'dor V'dor Adonai Eloheinu Ve'Elohei Avoteinu V'Imoteinu Le'olam va'ed Le'olam va'ed Le'olam va'ed. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai. Atov Shimcha Ulecha Lehodot. Shalom Rab, HaYisrael V'Macha Tasir
טוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובחשה בשלומך שלום רב הישראל עמך תשים לעולם שלום רב הישראל עמך תשים לעולם ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, יעשה שלום עלינו, עושה שלום במרומיו.
Before we continue with our traditional Misha Berach, this week the National Council of Jewish Women sent out a particular Misha Berach for reproductive health and freedom, given some of the events of recent all the time at this point, but definitely of recent weeks. And I did also want to point out that if anybody listens to This American Life, I hadn't listened in a while, but they did a story last week that you can still find online of what's been going on in the 9 months since Roe was overturned, and it is just an incredible hour of storytelling. So I really encourage people to listen to that when you have a moment. A week ago, just as Shabbat was coming in, we received 2 court rulings regarding mifepristone, one of the 2 medications used in a self-managed abortion or miscarriage treatment with medication. One of the rulings attempted to ban access nationwide. Wednesday evening, at the end of the 7th day of Pesach, a 5th Circuit Court temporarily blocked this decision, but at the same time, it significantly curtailed mifepristone access. Last night, some obstacles to obtaining the medication were lifted, but only for 17 states and DC. 33 states are still under a significant burden when it comes to access at present. Medication abortion has become a game changer for those with limited access to abortion care and miscarriage treatment, which is often those who experience other barriers to medical care and other resources, such as those struggling to get by, Black, Indigenous, and other women of color, and others, those in rural communities, immigrants, and others. And it's safer than Tylenol, safer than penicillin. The case is now headed to the Supreme Court, and the outcome is very unclear. This is the most significant reproductive rights case since Roe was overturned. 53% of U.S. abortions now happen via medication. Banning it would be a disaster to an already overtaxed clinic system. It would cause significant injustice, suffering, and death. So this Shabbat, we want to offer a special mishaberach, a blessing, for all those who have ever received an abortion and all those who have ever received treatment for a miscarriage, and for those who have sought fertility treatments, those who or used birth control or have accessed any reproductive health care or supported others in their efforts to exercise their own reproductive rights. We teach that everyone is created in the divine image, B'Tselem Elohim, and we hold human dignity, Kavod HaBriot, as one of our core values. Reproductive justice and honoring each person's autonomy are indispensable parts of this. And though this prayer is centered on the women in our tradition, we also remember that these bans impact trans men and some non-binary people, some gender non-conforming people, and those who may and sometimes do need abortion care. This is a blessing for reproductive health and freedom by Rabbi Stephanie Crawley. Mishaberach Imotenu, God of our mothers, of all our ancestors, bless these brave ones who stand before you. Be with them now, as you were with our mothers, God of Sarah, who aided her to have a child when she wanted it, because she wanted it. Be with us now, God of Rachel, who suffered and suffered for a child and then died giving birth. Ensure that no one is forced into that same reality. Be with them now, God of Dinah. Do not abandon us when we have had our bodies stolen from us through violence and subjugation. Be with us now, God of Hannah, who thought she only had worth because of her womb. Teach us all to see our value in our wholeness. Be with us now, God of Yocheved, who bravely hid her baby from cruelty and atrocity until she could no longer and had to leave his life up to fate. Give us the tenacity to fight for a world in which all children can be raised in safe and compassionate communities. Be with us now, God of Shifra and Pua, the midwives who served Israelite mothers despite any evil decree. Give us the strength to fight back and continue supporting women and other people who give birth. Be with them now. Bless their holy bodies, bless our holy bodies, and bless the decisions, the ones that could be made in clinics and in homes with safe medications, the ones that were made out of medical necessity that gave safety and saved lives, the ones that were made in hope for the future, ones that were grieved over, the ones that were painstakingly fought for, the ones that stood against immoral legislation, and the ones made in the embrace of freedom. May everyone always know agency and dignity and love. May this community never fail to rise in support. And be with those who stand beside them in courage, who lend their voices and their funds, who drive to clinics and accompany them inside, who pick up prescriptions, who shout over protesters, who ensure care and safety. Be with them now, be with us now, and let us say, Amen. We continue in the heart of our service with a prayer for those who are ill in our community. This week we are thinking of David Harrison, Barry Cohen, Joe Crinty, Rita Siegel, Stephen Witt, Jerry Klebanoff, Sylvia Fishbein, Ruth Cohen, Angela Barry, Carrie Mazer, Eric Schwartz, Richard Oder, Matt Schaefer, Richard Barry Perlman, Paul Friedman, Chuck Katz, Lynn Katz, and Harav Eta Bat Charna. If there's a name you'd like to add to this list, please do so now.
Cheryl Blumenthal, Pat Rudden, and Judy Lascotti. Thank you.
Grace Peroso and Frank
We hold all of these names in our hearts as well as those that go unspoken as we join in a prayer of healing, page 371. And just as we share life's difficulties, we also share life's joys. Is anybody celebrating a birthday, an anniversary, cute things your grandkids did or that other people's grandkids did? Or no joy is too small. Yes, Ray. You just had your birthday. Ad Mea Vesrim, 120 years worth of joy. Wonderful. Yes, Ayana. Oh, that's so wonderful. So Sayana's going to have a painting where at the... Cool. For Philadelphia Council for the Aging, you said? Corporation for the Aging. Wonderful. Mazel tov. What else are we celebrating? Passover's over. Yes. We just want to eat bread again. And Passover was lovely. So I do want to acknowledge we did have a wonderful time with our neighbors at KI for Seder. So I want to thank people who came and just and thank them. And it was nice to be in person again. So just that was something to celebrate about our Passover this year. Wonderful. Okay. So, one question I often get when we open a Torah scroll, so I sometimes do this for visiting groups, is how many letters are there in the scroll? You all can picture the kid who asks this question. There is a rabbinic teaching that there are 600,000 letters in the Torah, one for each of the Israelite men who stood at Sinai to receive it. And this may be a lovely image, but it doesn't actually reflect an accurate count. While there are different theories based on different versions of the Torah text, modern scholarship suggests that there are 304,805 letters, forming 79,847 words. I have this written down if you'd like to look at it later. And this week's Parsha Shmini falls exactly in the middle. According to some rabbis, and again, it's sort of debated based on how you count, the middle letter of the Torah is the Vav in the middle of the word Gahon. This Vav is written larger than most of the letters in the Torah, which I think is why people gravitate towards it as the center letter. And we would think that this word on which the entire Torah hinges would be a significant one. In fact, the word means belly, as in, you shall not eat anything that crawls on its belly. This is not to say that this is not otherwise an exciting Torah portion, at least in terms of the book of Leviticus. In Parshat Shmini, we have a peak experience of the priestly cult, the ordination of Aaron and his sons, and we also have one of its greatest tragedies, the death of Aaron's sons for offering strange fire to God, which we'll discuss in Torah study tomorrow. But the middle letter of the Torah, in the middle of a word that usually means middle, it does not occur within one of these major episodes. It is not within a section about how the priests approach the Holy of Holies, which is a privilege that only a few people know at specified times and in particular places. Rather, it appears in a long list of rules of how we eat, something that everyone does every single day. Rabbi Billy Dreskin writes of this peculiarity, Leviticus is not the most exciting of the books of the Torah, and the laws of kashrut are even less so. But Leviticus is about life's middles, and that's where you and I spend most of our time. What better pivot point for the Torah than laws that govern one of our most basic human functions? And as we were talking about all of our Passover experiences, it's clearly something that we notice it a lot when it changes. It serves as a reminder that the pursuit of holiness is not limited to the times and spaces that are designated as holy. Rather, in a world without a tabernacle or a temple or an Ark of the Covenant, we are called to pursue holiness everywhere and all the time. We are called to strive for holiness in how we eat, how we dress, and how we interact with the world. We are called to find holiness in the middle. Rabbi Bradley Artson suggests that kashrut is the elementary school in which we remember that our lives are lived in covenant with God, and we make the values of our faith visible through our deeds and priorities. Even if we reject or struggle with kashrut, we might still strive for holiness when we eat, when we are mindful of what we put into our bodies and where it came from. We elevate this mundane act to a sacred one when we say a blessing over our food, and when our awareness of or our gratitude for our own blessings drives us to reach out to feed those who are in need. We elevate eating to a sacred act when we make our meals a time for human interaction, an opportunity to pursue holiness through our speech. Rabbi Israel Salanter points out that while pork is only forbidden twice in the Torah, everyone knows that it is prohibited, while we often forget that we are commanded many more times to refrain from negative speech, and we still all do that. Talking something some of us may do more often than we eat, is another mundane action we make holy by paying attention. One rabbi suggests that the vav in the word gahon is written larger as a reminder that unlike the slithering creatures we are forbidden to eat, we are a species that stands up straight. The enlarged vav reminds us to walk upright, not only physically, which is our evolutionary birthright, but spiritually, when we live in an upright way and when we stand up for what we believe in. Rabbi Dreskin points out that 2 verses after the Torah's middle letter appears, we encounter nothing less than the main point of Torah, the main point of Jewish life, and the main point of all life. For I, the Eternal, am your God. You shall sanctify yourselves and be holy, for I am holy. We have been taught that holiness, the point of it all, can be present in everyday actions of our lives. Whether it is that we find ourselves doing whatever it is that we find ourselves doing, no matter how common, how unremarkable, it is there that God may be found. And there we are to prepare ourselves to encounter nothing less than the creator of the universe. Even the most mundane actions can take on a huge significance when we use them as an opportunity to encounter God. However, challenging ourselves to live in a way in which we can walk upright, proud of who we are and how we live, in relationship with God and each other, can be far more complex than following a set of Levitical rules. Within our everyday pursuits, we often find ourselves stuck in the middle, between who we are and who we want to be, what we currently do and what we feel is the right thing to do. But this does not mean that we are failures. It only means that we are still moving, still growing, still striving to be better than we are. It means that we are in the middle. While the middle letter of the Torah is said to be in the word Gahon, there are those that say that the middle word of the Torah is actually a chapter earlier, the word Doresh. In modern Hebrew parlance, this word is used for interpreting the Torah. It's actually the root of the word midrash. But it literally means to inquire and to seek answers, something that no matter how smart we are or how much we learn, we will always be only in the middle of doing. We may not pursue holiness in the same way that our ancestors did, but we are still driven by the same vision that they were, to live life in a holy way and to seek out opportunities for sacred encounter, not only in the beginnings and the endings or in the peaks and the valleys, but right here in the middle. Shabbat Shalom. We continue on page 586. We rise in body and in spirit for Aleinu. I lost my page. Okay.
Aleinu l'shabeach v'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו משפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל העולם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים עמהם, ושכינת עוזה ושכינת עוזה וכופר
superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all created in your image become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever.
ונאמר וחיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
You may be seated. Page 594. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch, a fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be, and oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death has touched. This week we mourn the recent passings of Margie Jacobs, mother of Eve Jacobs, Theodora Johnson, sister-in-law of Shari Johnson, and Professor Richard H. McKinstry, father of Betsy McKinstry. We are also observing the yahrzeits of Clifford Backup, father of Marjorie Backup, Joseph H. Furman, grandfather of Susan Holland, Herbert Glickstein, stepfather of Elaine Gershenson, Sion Joseph, uncle of Orly Maravenkin, Stacy Conweiser, niece of Jean Ettinger, Robert Lazaro, father of Paul Lazaro, Ruth Lips, aunt of Barry Boys, Florence Lubowitz, aunt of Carol Appel, John McCurman, father of Patricia Shore, Martha Ryder, grandmother of Sarah Ryder, Phyllis Rotman, aunt of Ellen Horowitz Matz, Jacob Samuel, uncle of Orly Maravenkin, Albert Shiowitz, father of Robert Shiowitz, Fred Starobin, uncle of Rachel Ezekiel Fishbein, Margaret Tino, mother of Carol Witt and Stephen Witt, Joyce Bauman Wohlstetter, mother of Alan Wohlstetter. If there's a name you'd like to add to this list, please do so now. Page 598, we rise in body and in spirit. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, be'alma yivarach yirteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'ga'ala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mivarach le'olam olamei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, za'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, and let us say, Amen. May be seated. We turn to page 123. Shabbat Kodsho, Avahu Vratzon, Hinchilanu, Zikaron Maaseh, Bereshit, Ki Hu Yom Tehillah, Mikrae Kodesh, Zeher L'Tziat, Mitzrayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam just a couple of things going on in our community. Tomorrow morning we have our regular Shabbat morning service and Torah study. I'm really excited about this one. This one is about Nadav and Avihu, which is a very complicated story about sacred fire and strange fire. And then Monday, we are going to have at Gratz College at 6:15 our community Yom HaShoah commemoration. So there will be a memorial service, and then there will also be a production by Theater Ariel. They're going to be doing a play called Survivors. So we hope that you'll join us for that. We had our first session of our Poverty and Tzedakah class this past Tuesday. If you missed it, you're still welcome to join us. Our next one will be Tuesday, April 25th. What else is going on? All right. And we have all the, it's funny, we have all of the like Jewish community historical holidays coming up, and then the next big festival is Shavuot, so we've got a couple of weeks now. So what shall we sing as a closing song?
So let's turn to page 248. I normally don't teach songs during the service, but this one I'm going to teach to you. I'm going to teach you the chorus. Goes like this. Hopefully you'll try that when it comes around. Blessed is your presence, shining doth upon us. Adonai Tzebaoth, holy, holy, holy. Ledov Adonai Giddolecha, ulenetzach netzachim, kedushatcha nakdish, v'shivchacha at the English at the bottom of the page. That's pretty much the next verse. To all generations will declare your greatness, and for all eternity, holy, holy, holy. Ledov Adonai kedushatcha nakdish, v'shivchacha Eloheinu, mipinu lo yamush, le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Holy, 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 le'olam va'ed.
Before we join in the final benediction, I realized that one thing I forgot to mention is next Shabbat is Earth Day. So we're going to be having a tag talk with Ben Adams on sustainability. And we'll have an Earth Day themed text study at our Shabbat morning service as well. And then Sunday, April 23rd is Mitzvah Day. So there are opportunities both through us and through the Jewish Federation to volunteer around the community. And so I hope you'll take advantage of some of those. Baruch atem bevo'echem, baruch atem b'tzeitchem. Blessed were you when you came into the house of God. Blessed may you be as you go forth. God, be with us in this middle as we strive towards holiness. Help us to make holy decisions and to live our lives in the best way possible for today, and hopefully to do better as the days go on. And let us say, Amen.
Amen. May God bless you and protect you. May God's countenance shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May God turn to you in blessing. May God turn to you in blessing and give you peace. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yaseh lecha shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom,
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and Shabbat Shalom to everybody at home.
Shabbat Shalom.
And please join us for some chametz. Oneg. Chametz and oneg.